is a very important project. Everything we have tried to say around it shows that we are ready and willing to support this project. A few months ago, Rivers State government had made available 4 billion, which is domiciled in the Bank of Industry. Rivers State government, over time, have gone into distribution of agri-inputs like cassava stem cuttings, fertilizer. We are accounting officers. We don't joke with anyone now.
Sole Administrator of Andoni Local Government Council, Ataji Francis, and his Opoponkoro counterpart, Frederick Apiafi, represented by Thomas Jefter, made some points.
Consider security, whatever thing we can do to make sure that we provide adequate security. You can see the excitement, you can see the joy, you can see the turnout. It's all because they're expecting something great. And I know you'll never be disappointed.
Everything we accept in agriculture empowers the society and empowers the people. Agriculture is the way to go. And I want to encourage everyone to please keep into it.
Other citizens, including religious and traditional rulers, commented.
Follow youths. I want to challenge you. Can you drop your violence, your kidnapping, your everything, and let us now maintain internal security?
In Ungo, we don't have any good market. How will this body help us?
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
A strong appeal has gone to the Inspector General and the State Commissioner of Police to intensify efforts at bringing to book the killers of a young enterprising man, Samuel Tambosele Ajipara, and the paramount ruler of Oshiboko community, Ahoda East local government area of Rivers State, Chief Elysian Opara John, who were gruesomely murdered in September last year. Addressing newsmen in Port Harcourt over the weekend, the family of Ajipara, represented by Mission Dudu Ajipara, commended the IRT arm of the force headquarters, Abuja, for finally arresting and investigating the sponsors of the heinous crime. Doris Thoms Morrison has the rest of the story.
Ajikwara, however, regretted the kingpin of the killer gang who murdered their son, and the community ruler was left free and had continued to parade the community with arms, threatening relatives of the victims, alleging that the initial handlers of the matter had compromised.
The commander of IRT, I appreciate what you and your team are doing, but the killer gang, the man that is moving around with gun, that is threatening fire and brimstone on any opposing voice, is still there. We are calling on you to help us and ensure that he is part of the person that will be arraigned and justice is served. And doing so will make us know and believe that the law is for the common man.
Mr. Ajikwara decried the suffering which the tragic death of the two men had brought to their families, especially his aged father and Samuel's widow and baby.
For all this now, I don't know what to say again. They come kill my pikin. I don't know how to talk for killing of my child, being savior, who I never seen in body. Till now.
My husband was brutally murdered. We've been living in fears. We've not been able to go anywhere. We've been indoors. How do we continue this way? I want the law enforcement agents and everybody that needs to bring these people to book to come and intervene on this matter, because these people have been killing a lot and my husband has been affected in this. Let the killing stop. Let the killing stop. Let them come.
Also speaking, Mr. Zibundu Nelson Gio, on behalf of the concerned youths of Achiokpoko community, told newsmen that the entire community now lives in fear as the killer gang patrols the community looking for those who may oppose their nefarious activities, and asked the state police to reopen the case file at my one area police command where the matter was initially handled, in order to serve justice to the innocent citizens that were slain.
We've been living in fear. And as I speak to you, most of us cannot access. In fact, we can't even go to the community again because there has been several threats of killing, from the community. Paramount ruler of a community, Chief Elisha John, likewise one of our youths, a vibrant youth leader of the family, Comrade Samuel Tambosele Ajipara. They were adopted on the same day and murdered. And as I speak to you, their corpse is nowhere to be found till date. what is happening in my community calls for serious concern. We are calling on relevant authorities to come to the aid of our people.
Doris Tams Morrison, Rstv News.
The Rstvlive Police Command has condemned the brutal attack carried out by suspected cultists by armed assailants led by two men, Umebewe Kinsley and Opaka, believed to be leaders of Iceland called Group, who stormed the Osberg office beside Ahoda East Council Secretariat and opened fire on its operatives. A statement by the Police Public Relations Officer SP Grace Irengi Koko stated that Osberg operatives Ngozi Ipa and Corporal Francis Friday were shot. The statement added that police patrol teams led by the divisional police officer arrived at the scene, but the attackers had already fled, with both victims rushed to the Ahoda General Hospital but pronounced dead on arrival. According to the statement, Commissioner of Police CP Olubenga Adepoju visited the scene and deployed tactical teams to the area, directing the area commander and DPO to intensify efforts to track down and arrest the perpetrators. He added that the perpetrators will not escape justice, urging residents to remain calm and cooperative by reporting any suspicious individual or activities to the nearest police station. The Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, Rstvlive chapter has joined growing national outrage over the abuse of a 14-year-old student at Christ Ambassador International Mission School, Eagle Island, Obiakpo local government area of Rebel State, where teachers allegedly flogged and burned the child with a hot iron over unproven theft allegations. A joint statement by the NAWOJ chairperson Susan Serekara Wikina and the secretary Precious Ahipo Ovie condemned the act and asked if 30,000 naira could be compared to the child's life. The association particularly criticized the religious leaders involved in the reckless finger-pointing, which has endangered the child's life. According to the statement, NAWOJ Rivers is demanding the immediate arrest and prosecution of all teachers involved in the torture, investigation of the pastor who allegedly instigated the false accusation, psychological evaluation and support for the traumatized victim, and sanctions against the school, including potential license revocation. On the national scene, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declined assent to the 2025 Amendment Bill for the National Assembly Library Trust Fund, pointing to concerns regarding its compliance with the Constitution, government policy, and financial implications. The bill aimed at converting the National Assembly Library Trust Fund into a broader National Assembly Resource Center was formally sent back to the House of Representatives with a letter from the President explaining his decision, which was read during plenary by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin. Although President Tinubu acknowledged the bill's positive objectives and expressed concerns over specific sections that he believes conflict with existing federal laws and administrative frameworks. Among the areas of concerns are how the proposed funding mechanism affects institutions under the National Assembly, issues surrounding federal taxation, public sector salary structures, and stipulations about age and service tenure. The federal government has said it is closely monitoring the ceasefire between Israel and Iran as it continues preparations to evacuate its citizens from the region should the situation deteriorate again. Following weeks of escalating violence between the two Middle Eastern countries, a ceasefire was announced by the United States President Donald Trump. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigerian embassy in Tehran had completed logistics to transport citizens to Armenia from where they would be airlifted to Nigeria via the capital, Yerevan. However, while bus transportation had been secured, border clearance from Armenia was still pending. To facilitate the smooth evacuation process, the Nigerian embassy also submitted updated lists of evacuees, including personal details to Iranian authorities. The federal government has opened the first International Civil Service Conference in Abuja, bringing together public sector leaders, policy experts, and development partners to explore reforms and strategies for improving civil service delivery. Organized by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation in collaboration with the Global Government Forum, the two-day event aims to foster dialogue on how civil service Civil services, rather, can adapt to technological change, rising public expectations, and the need for greater institutional resilience. The conference, which runs through Wednesday, features 8 stages with sessions focused on digital innovation, workforce development, public service values, performance management, and environmental governance. Participants include senior officials from Nigeria and abroad, as well as representatives from civil society and the private sector. Speaking at the opening, head of the civil service, DD Esther Wilson-Jack, said the event was an opportunity to rethink how public institutions operate in light of global shifts, stressing the need for collaborative reforms efforts that cut across national boundaries. You're still watching the news at 3. Do you love and care about wherever state and a peace? Let's build and take it to greater heights. But this is a task we must accomplish. Ahead on the news at 3, Crash Crunch stalls UN probe into possible war crimes in DR Congo. And Israeli attacks kills at least 51 as Trump signals progress in Gaza talks. Details of these and more when we return from the break. Please stay.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happens with good laws,
proper funding,
training,
and cooperation.
If it happens.
If it happens.
If it happens.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
If you're just joining us, this is the news of 3 on Rstv. Now to the rest of our reports. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has confirmed receiving letters of intent from 110 associations seeking registration as political parties. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this, noting that the requests are being processed in line with the relevant laws and the Commission's regulations and guidelines. Professor Yakubu urged Nigerians, especially those interested in registering political parties, to consult the Commission's regulations and guidelines for political parties 2022, available on Commission's website. The Commission has also released a full list of the 110 associations, detailing their proposed names, acronyms, addresses, as well as the names of the chairmen and secretaries. Management Commission (NIMC), in partnership with the Ministry of Youth Development and the National Youth Service Corps, has commenced the training of selected youth corps members to drive national identification number enrollment to all the wards in the Federation. A statement by NIMC Head Corporate Communications, Dr. Kayode Adegoke, the Commission said Nigerians, especially children below the age of 16, are encouraged to enroll for the NIN in their respective wards. It said the initiative aims to take NIN enrollment closer to the people. According to the Commission, the initiative is part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda of enrolling and issuing the NIN to all Nigerians and legal residents within the shortest time possible. NIMC said it had enrolled and issued the NIN to over 120 million Nigerians and legal residents and planned to cover hitherto unreachable areas through the World Enrollment Initiative. The core members selected are currently undergoing intensive training in preparation for the kickoff of the World Enrollment. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has signed a memorandum of understanding with India to prevent the production of cocaine-based drugs for importation into Nigeria. This is even as the agency reiterated that it is strengthening actions and cooperation in curtailing the availability, accessibility, and affordability of drugs. The Apapa Strategic Commander of the NDLEA, Buba Wakawa, disclosed this while addressing newsmen at the command as part of activities to mark the commemoration of the 2025 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking. He said that the event, which had been billed to take place on Thursday, has the theme, "The evidence is clear, invest in prevention, break the cycle." Speaking on the coming event, Wakawa explained that June 26th of every year has been designated by the United Nations as a day to create awareness of the dangers of drug abuse and illicit trafficking and adopt localized actions by member countries aimed to sensitize their immediate communities to achieve a world free of drug use and trafficking. Wakawa stated that if the country must guarantee sound health and security in the communities, drugs have to be curtailed. And on the foreign scene, the United Nations says investigations into suspected human rights violations and war crimes in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo cannot proceed because of funding crisis. The UN Human Rights Office says the cash crunch is due to the failure of some countries to fully pay their contributions, compounded by United States cuts in foreign aid. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk has said that the Rwandan-backed M23 rebels, Congolese troops, and allied Malaysians fighting in the region have all committed human rights abuses. He warned that financial and staffing constraints are critically impeding investigative work and voiced alarm at the impact of budget cuts on measures to protect human rights. On the entertainment scene, controversial Nollywood actress Angela Corey has issued new terms and conditions for men seeking a romantic relationship or marriage with her. Gloria Kenning tells us this and more from the industry. Her report.
The film star, in a post via her Instagram story, stated that anyone who wants to date or marry her must pay ₦1 billion before they begin the relationship. While recalling a conversation with her male friend, Angela said she is unbothered if people say she is selling her love. Nigerian music icon Daddy Shoki has shared that Fuji star Alabi Pasuma supported his family with food for 3 years. He made the heartfelt revelation during a live performance at a celebrity event where Pasuma joined him on stage. In the now viral video, Daddy Shoki recounted that Pasuma was the only friend who stood by him after he suffered an accident in 2007. While recounting the audio, Daddy Shoki revealed that the near-fatal accident left him hospitalized for 3 years, during which Pasuma stepped in to take care of his family's needs. He described Pasuma as the only friend in the entertainment industry, lamenting that many of his colleagues turned their backs on him, while some even refusing to offer help when he personally visited their home seeking support.
Pasuma, for musician, I don't get any friend. Oh no. Okay. Where I go call say I get problem.
A Hollywood star has described the home of the British Grand Prix as hallowed ground as a new film about Formula One is set to open in cinema. Brad Pitt made the comment about the Silverstone circuit in Northamptonshire, where he shot scenes for F1, the movie due for release this week. The production has a fully operational garage situated in a real Formula One pit lane at the circuit during the 2023 and 2024 Grand Prix. The 61-year-old play fictional veteran driver Sonny Hayes, a former star returning to the ground after a long absence. The film was shot at real racing locations, including Abu Dhabi, Silverstone, and Rockingham in Northamptonshire. Glory Ekanem, Rstv Entertainment News.
And in sports, Chelsea Football Club defender Tosin Adarabioyo has stated that playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria is a decision he's considering for the future. Adarabioyo stated this in Philadelphia, USA during the post-match news conference after Chelsea defeated one of the African representatives at the ongoing 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Tarina Odibi has the rest of this report.
Former Manchester City defender who scored Chelsea's first goal in the 3-0 win over Esperance de Tunisia, while reacting to a news agency of Nigeria's correspondent question, recalls that Adarabioyo gave Chelsea the lead with a powerful header 3 minutes into the 5-minute stoppage in the first half, to lead Chelsea into a commanding 3-0 and advance into the knockout stages of the competition. The defender explained that the focus is now on the game against Benfica, the knockout stage of the ongoing competition. 9-time African champions Super Falcons will arrive in Casablanca, the capital of Morocco, on Wednesday today, ahead of the 2024 AFCON tournament, which will be played from July 5th to 26th in the North African country, Pond Sports Expert reports. 7 of the players, including American-based trio Asisat Oshola, Michel Alozie and Deborah Abiodun, arrived in Casablanca on Tuesday. Others are Chiwendu Iheozo, Folashade Ijamilusi, Esther Okonkwo, and new invitee Chioma Okafor. Reigning African goalkeeper of the year, Chiamaka Nnadozie, was a standout performer, pulling off a string of remarkable saves to keep Nigeria in the game, while the Falcons' closest chance of nicking the win was when Francisca Odega rattled the crossbar from a distance in the closing stages. The Black Queens arrived in Bnislam, Morocco last Tuesday for a 14-day training camp ahead of the tournament. Nigeria will be seeking a 10th continental title in Morocco, having won 9 of the 12 championships that have been contested since the CAF launched the event as a tournament in 1998 to become Africa's most decorated women's national team. Queen's Park Rangers have appointed Frenchman Julien Stéphan as their new head coach. The 44-year-old has replaced Mathis Cifuentes, who was put on gardening leave in April and officially left the club on Tuesday night. Stéphan has had 2 spells in charge of his hometown Rennes, who won the French Cup under him in 2019, their first trophy for 48 years. After 18 months at Strasbourg, who sacked him in 2023, he returned to Rennes but left last November after a run of poor results. Odibi Tarinaba Gloria, Rstvlive Sports News.
And that's a wrap on the news at this hour. Do you love and care about wherever sit in a peace? Let's build and take us to greater heights. For this is a task we must accomplish. Join us for more reports at 7:30 p.m. I am Ubele Jeets. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Rstv, bring you the news as it